Carmen's Cajun Kitchen. Today we're cooking stuffed manicotti, and we're going to begin with the ground meat. I'm going to brown 1.5 pounds of ground meat, and this really doesn't take as long as you think it's going to take. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all, I have a parrot, so if you hear anything in the background, that's going to be him making the noise. I'm going to start this up high. And we're going to boil the manicotti. I'm going to put about 2 quarts. You got to have an extra large pot. Alright. We're going to start with a large pot of water. About a tablespoon of salt. And a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Okay, when your meat is kind of getting a little bit softer, I'm going to dump in 1/4 cup of chopped garlic. And 1 cup of onions. Chopped onions. And you're going to stir it around. And you're going to let all this cook. Doesn't it smell good? I like to put a lid on it. That way that the ground meat doesn't dry out and burn and stick to the bottom. Turn this down a little bit. Okay, well, we're waiting for our water to come to a boil, and our ground meat is going to be browning. We're going to come over here, and we're going to start our stuffing mix. Okay, we're going to start with using a 32-ounce container of ricotta cheese. 1 cup of shredded mozzarella, 1 cup of grated Parmesan, a 1/4 cup of chopped garlic, and this is 1 small bunch, about 2 cups of finely chopped parsley. It doesn't make any difference if you use the curly leaf or Italian style. It all tastes the same to me. Now the recipe calls for 2 cups of mozzarella, but 1 cup goes in the stuffing and 1 cup is going to be used for the top. Okay, we're going to put in 1 egg. I know a lot of people don't use this in their recipe, but I do. It helps firm up the stuffing a little bit. Okay, we're going to return back to this pot and we're going to stir it. You see why I leave the lid on it? Because it doesn't make the ground meat dry out. It gets kind of soft. And you're going to cook it real good. And you don't want to chop your ground meat up too small. You want to leave chunks in it so that when you bite into the manicotti, you'll get that chunk of good tasting meat. By the way, it'll cook faster too when you have the lid on it. Okay, this is ready for me to put the sauces in. And it probably cooked about 5 minutes. I'm going to put in 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. And you can use your favorite marinara sauce. Doesn't make any difference if it comes in a can or a jar. But this is I think a 26.5 ounce, but you can use anywhere from a 26 to a 30. Okay, Saints, Mama used to say a little cheer every time her favorite team was playing, and she would say, "Yeah, yeah, fuit beat that. Let's beat that team, eh?" So I'm going to say that for the Saints today. Alright, this is time for me to cover, and we're going to simmer it just until this manicotti is stuffed. Okay, now our water is boiling for our manicotti, and the reason why I put oil in there is to keep it from sticking. And you don't have to stir these like you would a spaghetti, because they don't hardly stick together. Now you're going to boil these for about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Just make sure that they're all down in the pot. And we're going to boil these for about, like I said, 5 or 6 minutes. And we're going to take them out. Okay, we're going to go back to this. We're going to put about a teaspoon of salt in the stuffing mix, a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then you mix it. You want to make sure that the egg is all mixed in together. It gives it a little bit of substance. Okay. Okay, once that's mixed very well, time to wash your hands. This olive oil keeps all these noodles separated, and you don't really have to stir it, as long as you just keep it boiling on high. Okay, one thing we forgot to add to our is about a teaspoon of sugar. Contrary to what Amy may believe, Christy does use sugar. It's perfect. Anytime you use tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, anything, you need to put a little bit of sugar in it so that it takes that bitter taste out, because tomatoes have got some kind of a twang to it. Okay, these are almost finished cooking. Like I said, it just takes about 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, we're finished boiling the noodles. And the reason why I kept these little trays is because that's what I put them back in to cool. So it keeps them separated. And at this time, once you take them out of the water, they're a little bit coated with the olive oil, but they will stick if you get them close together. That one's broken, but that's okay. I'm going to show you a neat trick. Alright, while these are cooling, we're going to set the oven to bake at 350. We're going to preheat it. Now that my sauce is ready, my manicotti is already boiled and cooled off, we're going to prepare this bacon dish. You need a fairly large one, and I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to smear it around with a paper towel to coat the bottom of this bacon dish. Make sure you get the sides. And I'm going to spray it. Just give it an even coat of your favorite non-stick. Okay. And then you're probably wondering why I used the oil, left the oil in there. But that goes on the bottom. So you're going to try to get as much oil on the bottom as you can. And we're going to put one thin layer of sauce with the oil on the bottom of this pan. Or bacon dish, I'm sorry. And that keeps it from sticking. Now if I was cooking this for something else, I would have drained that oil off. Okay, that's what your pan looks like before you start putting your manicotti in there. Okay. And I'm going to show y'all a trick I bet you've never seen. Instead of fighting with these noodles to stuff them, because it's really difficult, the easiest way that I found is to slit them right in two. And you're going to put about maybe, I don't know, a little maybe a half a cup. You can measure it. You want to get it even, and you want your sides to match. So if you get a little bit too much, and it's okay if some of it's sticking out on the end, and you start placing it in your pan, or bacon dish, I'm sorry. Isn't this a trip? I bet you never learned that before. Manicotti is real easy to stuff. I'm going to keep going until I get them all stuffed, and I'm going to use every bit of this mix, the stuffing mix. And you want to put the sliced part down, the part that's cut. You want to make sure that you put that down so you can scoop them up out of the pan real easy. Okay, these are about all finished. If you have a little bit of dressing left over, you can pick one of these up and put it in there. Don't waste nothing. If one of them looks too skinny. Okay. Okay, once we get finished, we're going to spoon the rest of this sauce over the top. Our oven's already preheated, so we're ready for bacon. Now you see why I didn't want the meat to cook in such little pieces, because get a big bite of meat. And you cover up all your pasta. Make sure all the top is covered. And you remember that last cup of mozzarella cheese that we had. We're going to sprinkle it right over the top. And the bacon part takes about, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe. And you want to, don't bake it too long. You want to bake it just as long as, till the edges of the sauce start bubbling. Okay, I'm ready to put it in the oven. And you're going to bake it 350 uncovered. There it goes. And we'll be eating in about 35 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes has gone by. We're going to take it out of the oven. Okay. Now, there is a little extra oil in the pan. If you just tilt it a little bit to one corner, there you go. Now you really want to let this cool for about 5 minutes before you start serving it. If you notice some of the corners are still bubbling, that means it's very, very, very hot. Okay, we're going to turn off this oven. And that's our stuffed manicotti for today. Christy and Amy, I love you dearly. But this is dedicated to Caleb, Aiden, and Lauren. God bless you all. Thank you for watching today. And y'all come back and see me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.